Hey guys, welcome back to the Jurassic Park Raptor Comics series. Now in this video, we're going to go over issue 6 of 10. We last left with the Raptors killing a few natives in the jungles of Colombia, and our human protagonists setting out to locate these creatures and return them to Jurassic Park. Alan, Malcolm, Ellie, and Muldoon all travel by car in the wilds of the forest in search of their missing dinosaurs. Muldoon takes the time to stop and look over a hill while expressing his hatred for the animals, which seems to have intensified. The Raptors have killed his blood brother Lawala, and he's not too happy about it. Alan expresses the importance of containing the animals and not letting this creature go extinct a second time, but the hunter doesn't seem to give it too much attention. Grant and Sattler formed somewhat of a bond between one of the raptors while they were being held captive by Raphael earlier in the story, and it would be a true sin to kill the animals in such a terrible manner after their mutual experiences. Meanwhile, the raptors continue their journey through this new strange land and come across a large cave similar to the one they were born in. We then get an interesting look at the minds of these still young raptors and their views on the world they now inhabit. While they were young, it appears that their mother was keen on teaching the animals to be wary of the dangers of man. What the dinosaurs refer to as the evil hairless apes, specifically Muldoon, would put them all in a cage if they ever found them. And we are shown a humorous image of what the tiny raptors dreamed would happen to them if that day ever came. Unfortunately, that day eventually passed, and the raptors remember it quite vividly as the day they were attacked by the evils of man. Back with our protagonists, we discovered the group has formed a campsite to take rest at night. Alan and Ellie use the downtime to ask Muldoon about his memories of George Lawala, as they only knew him as an enemy, and Muldoon clearly had different feelings. The game warden explains that Lawala and he were both guides in Rhodesia a while back and actually started off as safari rivals. Some people seem to feel that a black man would know the African bush better than a white, while others took that as being nonsense, and Muldoon says he ended up picking up the business of the latter. Apparently one day in the bush, George and Robert were shooting bottles hanging from trees, and Lawala ended up shooting the last bottle. After boasting his superiority, Muldoon shot the rope that was hanging onto what was left of the bottle in an attempt to one-up the man, and this seems to have led into a fist fight. The two ceased being friendly rivals that day and became fierce enemies, until both men left a bar one night. At the same time, a rogue lion invaded their local village. The lion had Muldoon flat on his stomach, pinned to the ground, and without hesitating at all, Lawala jumped on the beast and killed it with a large knife he used earlier in the story. That day, the two dragged their hands through the beast's blood and settled their differences, and that's why Muldoon says his killers will die. Back in the jungle, it seems the raptors are becoming aware that they themselves are alone. There aren't any other raptors nearby. They don't fully grasp that they are all that's left in the world, but they can gather that there are no others near them. Not since the deaths of their family members, at least. Becoming more alert now than ever before, the raptors catch a native making his way up to the dinosaurs. They don't know exactly what he's doing, but don't like it either, and decide it's best to leave the man and get out of the area. At dawn, Muldoon expresses his suspicion in trusting the natives of this land. He states that the farther they get into the bush, the more native people seem to become a part of it, and that if they are planning something, they're going to learn that it may be their land, but it's his territory. Ian makes light of Muldoon's intensity and smoothly interjects to Dr. Sattler that the hunter may have just never known the benefits of having a good woman release some of that tension. Sattler asks Malcolm just how many Mrs. Malcolms have come and gone, to which Ian replies that chaos theory doesn't admit to discrete integers. Ellie again lets Malcolm know she has little interest in jungle romance and more for finding the raptors. Malcolm makes it aware that the doctor didn't say she had no interest in the idea, and that it would appear that he's making some progress. She responds jokingly with the words, "Yes, Ian, and at this rate, they'd be close friends by the year 2000. Baby, bye, bye, bye. All of this seems rather humorous and calming until Muldoon spots something. There they are, just across the canyon's bridge, and still unaware of the human's presence. While Grant attempts to formulate a plan, Robert raises his rifle scope to his eye before he's attacked by the villagers. Muldoon fights back against the natives. All the while, these men accompanying the group reveal their intentions to stop them from finding the dinosaurs and angering their gods. The villagers corner our scientists, but before anything else can happen, the Velociraptors dart across the bridge and begin to zero in on the dinosaur hunters. Celia recognizes Dr. Sattler as the scientist that helped her neck wound from Lawala in the previous issues, but Alf and Betty aren't listening to her cries to stop the attack. Not anymore. Betty begins to pounce for Ellie, and Alan lowers his gun and rushes over to Dr. Sattler, saying he had no choice. He laments the death in light of their situation, but this leads to Muldoon's suggestion of going ahead and killing the other two while they all still have the chance. He's quickly sucker punched by one of the natives for his words. The natives stop and bow to the raptors in this time of urgency, letting the animals know that they are on their side and against the others. The Velociraptors understand little outside of the pale apes being the ones attempting to kill them, and the brown apes being the ones that have tried to stop this from happening. Their only reality is the death of their sibling. Now they are down to only two. The raptors race across the other side of the canyon and cut the suspension lines holding its bridge in place. Without a method of pursuit, Muldoon lets the others know they're going to need to order helicopters once they get back to the village, and the raptors continue their journey, deeper and deeper into the vast jungle of this strange new land. Now that was a bit unexpected. With only 2 raptors remaining, the story seems to be winding down into a chase to make sure the animals are either killed or somehow transported back to Nublar. This issue was a bit better than the last in my opinion, but I really think the raptors' dreams were a bit out of place. Still, this is a comic book, so I understand the appeal they have to at least attempt with the younger audiences. Hopefully the statement about helicopters wasn't an empty promise by Muldoon, and with any luck, we could be in for some really exciting action sequences in the future. All in all, I think this issue was just okay enough to pass as a good part of the story. Hopefully you all enjoyed it as well. Now I want to thank all of you for watching this video, and if you're new to the channel, hope you consider subscribing if you'd like to see more. Hope you also consider leaving me a like if you think I've deserved it. I'll see you all in the next video, and as always guys, take it easy.